Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ifemena here. And welcome back to my channel. This video is a life update. I'm going to tell you guys where I have been for the past 1 year and 6 months or 7 months. I really can't remember the time lapse. So for many of you that know and do not know, I was once a student studying medicine in Ukraine. And we all know that last year the war broke out on the 24th of February. Well, we all know the details. I'm not going to get into them. This video, mind you, is not me telling my experience during the war. But if you guys want a video containing that, just type in the comment box, then I'll film one. So this is just me filming a live update. I'm just going to tell you guys where I have been, what I've been doing. That's just it. So the war broke out. I came back to Nigeria, I think on the 2nd of March. Yeah, and then when I came back to Nigeria, we were still having online classes. Like, we were still consistent. When I came back, I didn't even know that this war was not going to end. I didn't know the war was still going to be going on till today. I had in mind that, oh, by September I'll be back in school. But here we are. Anyways, I started online classes March, and I think I was consistent with our online classes till June, July. I stopped having online classes. They were still going on, but then I didn't want to be part of it anymore. So during that period of online classes, we were trying to look for alternatives because we were not too sure. So I remember that there was this scholarship that Hungary was giving out. So they were giving us like students displaced from Ukraine. We had a lot of opportunities. God bless those people that actually like helped people that were displaced from the war. So I and most of my friends, we wrote the exam for the scholarship. There were 2 steps. I passed the first step, but I didn't pass the second step. So I didn't get that scholarship. Heartbreaking. But I was like, you know what? I have an idea of how Hungary is, right? Because I went there after the war. So it's like, let me still pursue that country. So I was trying to opt for medicine, but medicine was just not, it wasn't working out there. They were shouting, no, 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 no. So I was like, you know what? I have to opt for nursing. So as I applied for nursing in one of the schools, I was still applying for, see, you guys, I ransacked the entire Europe. I checked every single country in Europe. So as I was applying to Hungary, I applied to Romania, I applied to where again? I was checking out Poland. You guys, I'll see. I can give you details on every European country I checked out. So I was like, you know what, let me just settle for Hungary. Let me just settle for nursing. Because it was a whole lot. Like trying to reapply. And we all know that medicine is a very, the course is quite hectic. And then I just realized that Europe, most of them have quota for like the students, their international students they accept. And then it was the middle of the school year, so it was really hard to like accept. It was a whole lot for me. And I think last year after the war, I was in like one of my, I don't say darkest places, but like last year was very hard for me. It was quite hard. So I think most of the schools, they were not really working out. Like the application was like like nothing was working out. That's just like nothing was working out. So the only pathway that felt like, okay, let's just give it a shot, is going to work out, was the nursing in Hungary. So I applied for nursing, I got an admission, everything was settled, like everything was settled. Now time for my visa. Guys, I felt like I have gone through Ukraine's wahala. I knew, like I passed through trying to get a visa to go to Ukraine. So I just felt like I was a bad bitch. I felt like I can handle this one. It's not gonna be a problem for me. So as usual, I went to Abuja for my visa interview. All for me to get there. Of course, I saw some people from Ukraine because most of us that left Ukraine are in Europe right now. Some people are in Hungary, some people are in Germany, some people are in Poland. So I went to the I went for my visa interview, and then when I got there, I wrote like this mini exam. I'm going to call it mini exam, where they gave us 20 biology questions, which I was shook because I'm like, what's this? Since when did we start? Like, did I miss something? I did it now, even if I was caught off guard. And then they gave us this. They told us to, if you're a student and you want to like go to Hungary or like maybe any Schengen country, maybe this will help you because I really don't know. And they told us to tick where Hungary was on a map. So they gave us a map, it was blank, and just told us to tick where Hungary was on the map. I didn't know that. I didn't. Anyways, after that visa interview, that whole wahala, I came back to Lagos, and then I received my information. They gave me an answer and they told me no. According, their reasons were beyond me, honestly. They were like, oh, for someone that said that she was studying medicine in Ukraine, I had a low score in my biology. I had a 12 out of 20, which was considered an extremely low score for someone studying medicine. I said no problem. And there was just a whole bunch of stuff they said. And I was like, you know what? At that point, honestly, I was exhausted because that was my last option. I had done a whole lot of oh my god, I had applied to a whole lot of schools. I have had a lot of no's. I was just exhausted, and I was like, okay, this seemed like something that was going to work out. And immediately they said no to my visa. I was like, you know what, I'm tired. So I remember when I got like the answer, when I read the letter, I called my dad and then I told him, and then he himself, he was tired. Like, everybody was tired at this point, honestly speaking. So what happened next? I was like, I still didn't want to back down, honestly, because at the back of my mind, let me just tell you, at the back of my mind, Nigeria wasn't an option. Like, if someone tell me that, if you'll be studying in Nigeria, I would laugh in your face. Nigeria was never an option for me. So I remember I started looking at Georgia. Oh god, I looked at countries. Now I think the rejection for my visa, I think I got rejected around August or early September. I really can't remember, but it wasn't up to a month. I was like, you know what? It seems like Europe isn't working out. My dad had really like cancelled Europe and US. There was no way I was going to go to US, do a 4-year course, like pre-med course, like biology or something or nursing, and then go to medical school and do 4 years. Because I'm not going to do 8 years for medicine. So like US was the option. See, it was a good lot. I was not just in a good space, honestly. And then I remember that, it dawned on me that if you might actually end up schooling in Nigeria. I prayed, you guys. I prayed. I was like, God, what will people say? People are going to laugh at me. I was just in a whole, what will people say? What will people do? I was just concerned about other people's, like, that was my own. I was not thinking, okay, what is God's plan for me? Like, what does God have in store for me? I was not thinking about that too. My own was, what will people say? People are gonna laugh at me. All that. So I went to Babcock. I went there to submit my documents and all of that, and then obviously and another issue with getting into another school was that to get at that period, the war was still in its heat moment, so trying to get your transcripts was extremely hard. So the issue now is schooling for European countries, they understood that you could not get your transcript in that moment, all of that. But the issue for some of the schools here in Nigeria was that how are we gonna accept it without the transcripts? Do you get? So that was one of the biggest issue for me. So when I went to Babcock, I just sent him my letter, and then I don't know, I can't remember who we met. The man was like, oh, he was going to get back to us. That's what they say. Me, I was so happy that the man didn't get back to us, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to school in Nigeria. I was just very excited, very happy. So me, I was still on my own doing some low-key research, still trying to like look for schools and see if there's where I can apply. I was still trying my best, honestly. Then one beautiful day, one Wednesday night in October, my phone rings, and then my dad tells me that, oh, I should pack my things, that I'm going to school. I was confused, I was lost, I was short of words. Because I'm like, what do you mean by I'm going to school? Like, we've not discussed anything to school. So what do you mean I should pack my bag? And then it was like, oh, a school has accepted me, that I'm going to school tomorrow. You guys, I cried. See, I'm not sure I've ever cried that hard. Like after the war, that night, I wept like a fool. Like, you know when you weep, you tear your clothes, you just you guys, because it felt like this one thing I was avoiding, this one thing I was like, can't happen, was finally happening. You know when you say it can never be me, the way it will be you, it was me in that moment. I wept. God have mercy. I cried. And then it was my sister that had to help me pack my load because I was coming to Benson, outside university. I was schooling in Benin. Hey! So the next day I had a flight to Benin. I came to Benin and I was not happy, you guys. Like I was the farthest thing from happy. The farthest thing from happy because I'm like, why? I was just like, why me? Because the thing was that some of my friends, like I said, after the war, we went to Hungary. So like some of my friends were smart enough to stay behind. Well, we came to Nigeria, and I will always say my biggest regret after the war was coming back to Nigeria, because if I had stayed, a lot of things I went through, I would not have gone through them, honestly speaking. So when I came to Benin, I was not happy, honestly, but I think I was not angry. I was just in a state of, I don't know what state I was in, but like I was not happy. I was trying to struggle between being grateful to God and telling God that, oh my, this is not what I want. Like this was never the plan. This was the farthest thing from the plan. But at the same time, I was trying to be grateful. I remember I did all my admission things. I was new to a whole lot of things, honestly. I was very into a whole lot of things. I was hearing things like matriculation number, quite confusing for me. It was a whole lot. And luckily for me, they accepted me into 200 level, because if you remember from my previous video, I was entering my 200 level before the war broke out. So they accepted me to 200 level, which was so beautiful. I was more than grateful to God for that. Fast forward to maybe, it's not up to 1 year. It will become a year, October. We started just 1 year later. I've spent 1 year in school. I'm currently in my 300 level in school, and I'm still studying medicine. See, there is a bright side to everything. So now I have accepted it. Now I'm in a happy place. I'm in a very good place. I'm happy. Most of my friends that were displaced from the war, they're in school, they're doing fine. I'm only behind, like compared to when I was in Ukraine, I'm 1 semester behind. Because if I was in Ukraine right now, I'll be entering my 300 level second semester. But right now in Nigeria, I'm entering my 300 level first semester. So I'm happy, I'm in a good space. And I didn't want to come back to YouTube until I was in a better space. And there was no way I was going to come back to YouTube after that war, because like I said, I was fighting things seen and unseen. I was fighting for my life after that war. But honestly, I'm happy. I'm very happy right now. I'm back. So that was just a very short mini life update. If you liked the video, make sure to give this video a like. Make sure to subscribe and put on your post notifications so you get notified every time I post a video. And I have more videos coming for us soon. I'm actually ready for me. Thank you guys for watching.